Dr. Akiva Gamliel, Belk, Dean of Jewish Studies at the Noach Torah Institute. Welcome to Bereisheit, Limood, Kuf. We're in Genesis chapter 20. That's verse 1 through verse 18. And our discussion is entitled, Where Torah Does Not Live, Where Torah Does Not Exist. And our textbook is Gematria and Mysticism, Genesis, Book 2. God willing, next week we'll begin Book 3. Dear ones, I remember a story of my life years ago. I was going into work, and as I arrived and I went into this manufacturing facility, one of the employees came over and got right in front of me. He says, "What are you doing here?" And I says, "I'm getting ready to punch my time card." He says, "No, you aren't. You don't work here anymore." And he started getting nasty and vulgar and filthy language with me. And then I noticed other men were starting to encircle me, and all of a sudden I was in the center of this circle with this vile individual in front of me. I heard a door slam. The owner of the company come rushing out, started hollering at these men, said, "Leave him alone, don't touch him." And he took me into the office and he said, "You can't work here." He says, "You're Jewish and we don't want any Jews here." And he says, "You can sue me, you can take it to court, you can file unemployment, I'll pay, but you cannot work here." He wrote my check out and says, "Get out of here." That's a place where Torah does not exist. Abraham, after Lot fled Gomorrah, Sodom and Gomorrah, he went into this secluded area and unfortunately he had incestuous relationships with his daughters. And word got around, and Abraham and Lot looked alike. They looked like twins. And Abraham was humiliated, and he was embarrassed at the actions of his nephew. And his nephew was a righteous man. Righteous people do fall. God says he'll help us get back up again, but they do make mistakes. I've made many mistakes. God helps us get up, Baruch Hashem. But it was an embarrassment. It was humiliating. Abraham was the leader of this huge group of nomadic people. He had over 1,000 individuals. He had cattle and sheep. And he had major responsibilities, and so he had to leave the area. And he journeyed towards the Negev and down to Gerar, and he met the people there. And he told individuals that Sarah, his wife, was actually his sister. And so we might be somewhat judgmental of Abraham for doing this. But in fact, he was a prophet. Sarah was a prophetess. And they could see the evil. They could see the vile. They could see the horrible things in the community. And they felt frightened for Abraham's life. So the king of Gerar took Sarah with the intention of having a relationship with her and making her his wife. And when God came to him and scolded him and said, "You're a dead man," he was commanded by God to release Abraham. And when Abraham appeared before him, he said these words to Abraham. Let me see if I can find them here. He said, "Vayomer Avimelech el Avraham ma ra'ita." He said, and what did you see? Why did you tell me your wife was your sister? And Abraham said to him, "Vayomer Avraham ki amarti rak ein yirat Elohim." And Abraham said, "Because I said, surely the fear of God is not in this place." Now, dear ones, this is our textbook, Gematria and Mysticism in Genesis, Book 2. This is our last week in this book. So we're going to start, God willing, having the third book ready before long, and you can purchase it, get a copy of this book. We can't go into every detail in the story. But the point is that the word Ra'ita is the Gematria 611. What did you see? Well, Abimelech was, like thinking on a physical level. What was it that was so bad around here? I live here. This is my home. This is my city. This is my country. And Abraham is thinking on a spiritual level. What did I see? Yerata. I saw there was no fear of God. I saw there was no respect of God. I was frightened. We know that the word Torah is the gematria of 611. So mystically what we see is Abraham was communicating, I was afraid because where Torah does not exist, I did not see Torah observance here. God gave 613 mitzvot to Bnei Yisrael, but to Bnei Noach, to the Noachites, God gave 7 commands, and Abraham was saying, what I saw was people weren't observing the 7 commands in this city and in this country. But I experienced somewhat, perhaps. Dear ones, I received these communications asking to be my friend on the internet. And when I receive these communications, I go to the site, I look at the page. Oh, it's sad sometimes. And I'm not here to judge other people, but I do have a message. If you have filth and garbage and nudity and things that are displeasing to God, and what he says in our Torah does not exist on your page. And so it's sad. I look up there and I see these Jewish names. I see them sometimes in Hebrew. And I see that right there in front of me, and I have this feeling I want to regurgitate. It's filth. And I have to do all that I can to try and just do I even want to allow this person to be my friend? But I remember, we've all been in places where Torah does not exist. And our goal and our responsibility is to help bring Torah, to help bring light into the world. That's our responsibility. That's our obligation. We're the Kohanim. God has chosen us to be holy like he's holy. And so our responsibility is to say to individuals that want to be our friends, look, you're supposed to observe our Torah. You're supposed to observe what God has commanded in our Torah. Please clean up your site. Please make it a holy site. Please make it a site pleasing to the Creator. I'm not here to judge, but I can tell you what Torah says, and you can interpret it as you will. I hope that all of us will be conscious that our website is where Torah does exist. And if we're in a situation where Torah does not exist, may our Creator bring light and revelation into our life, and may we find that place that God wants every Yidden to be in, and every Noachite. Thank you for joining with me.